With the performance of the team, we kept a clean sheet and we looked, so at it. The body language of every player is absolutely the right one, and delighted.
That's hard to take, isn't it, that late on?
Yeah, it is. It's tough. The players were, of course, devastated and praised them for a good performance. I think we did a top job to keep two of the best wingers in the league quiet throughout the game. So it's just one top action from Saka in the end, and great movement from HAVERTZ, and then unfortunately scored.
The cross was amazing, and I thought maybe why not to do this run, and the ball was perfect, and maybe that I scored.
It's an old cliche in the game that when you're going to win titles, you have to win games when you're not at your best. I think in terms of fluent creativity, you'd admit you weren't at your best today, but you've won the game.
I think we're at our best today. You cannot have a fluid game here against the way they play. They don't allow you to have a fluent game. The game is a stop, start, stop, start. And you have to play that game. Unfortunately, sometimes you cannot play the game that you want.
Different performance in the second half, a last-minute winner and top of the table.
Really happy the way we competed, really happy the way we played. It's a really tough place. They made life really difficult for you the way they want to play the game, and they drag you out to a different game that we want to play. But I think the team showed a lot of intelligence, a lot of quality, and an exceptional, I think, character, because we knew that it was going to be very tough, that the small matches were going to decide the game, and we kept at it right till the end.
You've got that pressure coming into this game after the result that you can go top, and a lot of pressure on Aaron Ramsdale because of the discussions around the #1 spot. Do you appreciate you invited a lot of that pressure onto the player, and it was part of the game plan from Thomas Frank today to put him under pressure?
I'm really happy with the performance of the team and the way everybody played.
And the team then kept keeping a clean sheet, great for him, and you could see the way the players rallied around him at full time. What did you say at half time?
Well, I'm really happy how they behave between them, how happy they were for Kai as well, that the whole crowd, I think, was singing his name and appreciating the quality of what he brings to the team. We cannot be any happier for him.
Thank you so much. Thomas set up so brilliantly against Arsenal. They were very nervy in the first half, found some balance in the second half, but you must have felt you were going to get a point from that, just killed at the last minute.
Yeah, definitely at least a point. I think it's a very even game between two sides that had a very good game against each other. And it was a game that could have gone either way. It should have been a draw because so even, but of course that can tip either way. I think there was two big moments to each side in the game. I think we had Brian and Neil's big chances. They had Jesus' header before the disallowed goal, and then the goal in the end. That was it. So, yeah, of course it's a disappointing that we didn't get at least 1 point.
Did you set up to take advantage of Ramsdale coming in to this game somewhat, because it seemed to definitely put him under pressure, and Boomer only really denied by that brilliant left-footed clearance from Declan Wright?
We set up to press high every game, so it's nothing to do with Ramsdale. We would have done the same, and it was David in the goal. We want to press high in these situations, and we did that again today, and it was very, very close to pay off.
Very close, considering the numbers of injuries you've got. Update on when you could get any of those players back, because that injury list got a lot bigger today.
Yeah, but I think it's a fantastic credit to the players in the squad that plays the game, that they just step in. They know the system, the structure, the principles. Step in. Then we're playing against Arsenal, one of the best teams that clearly had their strongest lineup out there, more or less, and we play a completely even game, and then that is unbelievable. So fantastic credit to the players. We hope the injury list will be a little bit shorter for Saturday. Hopeful about 2 players, I would say. So let's see.
Can you clarify who those are for me?
Yeah, that could be Matthijs Jensen and Mads Rorslev.
That's a massive boost to this side. Looking back on that match, some big clearances to deny you, but chances could have been taken, do you think?
Yeah, of course, that's what you want, of course, to be taken. But sometimes they don't.
Great pride at how you set up and really controlled that match, though. A lot of pride taken. What did you say to the players in the dressing room?
Yeah, but exactly like that. I said they could be very proud of the performance. I'm pleased with the performance. It's tough to take that we lose the game in the final minutes of the game, but we need to take the positive out of the game and look forward. Now we played 13 games. It's been 12 good or very good performances. So can we continue down that route? We will just get a lot of points. Not just, we'll get a lot of points and hopefully get more.
Thank you.
So happy. I think when you have the opportunity to go top, and you come and winter starts and it's cold, and you come to Brentford and it's a really uncomfortable place to come, I think the team showed, so much willingness to compete, to dig in and to play the game that we have to play to win it, and I think we fully deserve to win the game. So happy.
When Kai scored against Bournemouth, everyone thought it might be the moment that changed everything. Does this one feel a bit different, a bit more significant?
Yes, but I think that's the beauty of it. When things come easy, you don't value them. If things would come easy today, he's not getting the reception that he got, everybody hugging him and cuddling him and telling him how much we love him, and it's for a reason. It's because the way he behaves in difficult moments, and he's an example for all of us to do what you have to do when you have difficulties. And he's a great example for the team, and we cannot be happier that a big player like him win the game for the team.
Amy, from there. Oh, did you?
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
Can I just ask you if you're still trying to suss out the attacking blend of your team? You played with loads of attacking players from the start, and obviously HAVERTZ come on. Do you feel that's something you're still working on this season to get better about that balance between being stronger at the back but also unlocking your forward players?
I hope I am. I hope we can be better and better and adapt, because as well the reality is that we have lost a lot of players, a lot of attacking players in this first period of the league, and the team continued to win and find ways to win it. And today I put another attacking player because I suspect what they were going to do and what we needed, and everybody was really, really good, I think.
Kai, from football.
Hi.
That sort of late run from Kai into the box, the shit about person, is that kind of the goals you signed him to score?
Yes, absolutely, yes. And against these blocks and against things that they defend the box like this, you need this type of profile, and he's exceptional at that. And today he won the game in that action for us.
Another late winner for your side. Do you think there's almost a narrative developing in your team and also opposition teams where when the end starts to come, it's still level, when they start to think Arsenal, Man United had it for so many years with Fergie time towards the end of the game. Do you think Arsenal are getting towards that level now?
Yeah, I prefer to score 3 in the first half. That we had some great chances to score, and we got the goal disallowed. But if you don't, the team needs that resilience to find a way to win it, And then it shows as well the impact that and the importance of the finishers. And today they were crucial again.
James from CBS.
Mikel, it was a tough start for Aaron. What did you make of the way he turned that round at this in the second half?
I don't know. This is football, I'm so happy with the team, the way the team performed. We kept a clean sheet and we move on. So happy.
Harry? No?
No, I was just going to say that he obviously had a lot of backing from fans, from the Brentford fans, but he seemed to get better as the game went on. I mean, is that what you wanted from him, really?
Courage, and he has big courage, big personality, and that's why we love him.
Yes, Sam?
I was just going to say, just on Aaron,
We have answered that question. But
no, just at the end, a lot of the players ran over to Aaron because he hit a ball at the end, and they were around him, congratulating him, and it's showing the sort of team spirit that you've got at Arsenal.
It's a joy as a manager to watch this reaction of the players looking after themselves, encouraging each other, showing love to each other. It doesn't get any better than that. Today is my 200 games, and when I see a team that behaves between them like that, and I see the staff and the smileys, apart from that doesn't smile too much, when you ask the same questions, I'm so happy. I cannot be prouder and more grateful for everybody that was with us every single day to make my job so enjoyable.
Yep, Kai HAVERTZ with that all-important goal. It wasn't the most attractive game to watch, but 1-0 to the Arsenal. I think we've heard that once or twice over the years. They're top of the table after 13 games, which is exactly where they were at this time last season. But they're doing things slightly differently, don't you think? I
think so, yeah. Defensively, very sound. I think it's offensively where we're maybe not creating as much, especially when we're getting teams who play in that way, that low block. You can see we're not scoring as many goals as last season, but conceding a lot less, and I think that's what you do. I mean, going back to George Graham, it's built from defence, and if you're like they did do very, very well today against our two wingers, but in the end, you don't need much in respect of Saka.
Yeah. I suppose perhaps the positive thing, Alan, for Arsenal in particular, is that they're doing that without perhaps finding that fluency that they had last year.
Yeah, they got Jesus in there, who didn't have his best game today, and Nketiah to come on. There's definitely room for improvement. They're tough to play against. They don't give very much away, do they? So when you look at the different aspects of the player, then that's one thing they can without doubt improve on, is in forward areas.
You were very excited at the end of the game. I think I caught you on video that did quite well on social media. It's gone viral. Are they going to do it, Ian? Are they going to win the league?
I hope so. That's what we're all hoping for. Going to try and take the joy when you can, but like that's a great result against Brentford. You just got to take the joy when it comes. I'm pleased for Kai, pleased for Aaron.
And you most certainly did. Ian, Alan, thank you very much. Before we go, let's have a look at the Premier League table. Arsenal end the day for the first time this season at the top, capitalising on the draw between Manchester City and Liverpool. Wins for Newcastle and Brighton see both climb one place. Burnley missed the chance to climb off the bottom, and Sheffield United stay 18th. Luton's victory moves them 4 points clear of the relegation zone, while Bournemouth have a 7-point buffer. Let's see what the Sunday papers have to say. The Sun highlights Kai Havertz thanking Arsenal fans for sticking with him despite his slow start. The Mirror focuses on the spat between Darwin Núñez and Pep Guardiola at the Etihad. And Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag tells the Express that clubs who break financial fair play rules must be punished by the Premier League. I wonder who he's thinking about there. So, a first home win for Luton. Hats off to the Hatters.
It is coming to Brentford, a tough old game. You've gone away with the 3 points that takes you top.
So happy. The way we competed, the way we play, the way we kept going and going and going, and I think we decided to win the game. So big compliment to the players, because this is a really, really tough play to come.
You could see what it meant to Aaron Ramsdale and the players at the end. They all rushed to congratulate him. He had his moments in the first half that were a bit worrying.
Yeah, I'm so happy with the performance of the team. We kept a clean sheet, and we looked, so at it. The body language of every player is absolutely the right one, and delighted. Is it sometimes a player can try too hard to impress the manager, perhaps? Is that what he's doing at the moment, do you think? I think that every player wants to improve. There's no difference in any other position, in any other player, and they are willing to do their best for the team, not for the manager. It's for the team. They are not. Nobody has to impress me. It's the team that has to be better with their contribution. Is it my imagination that in the last 20 minutes Declan moved a little bit higher, started to drive things, so he had a good game? When he had moments, yeah, in the first half he did it a couple of times as well, and it's the way Brentford defend as well, certain spaces that you can use, and I think he was terrific again today. Aware of Kai Havertz, one of the players who didn't start. He had played the 2 games, didn't he, in the international break, and he's had to be patient at times, but he's played every game for you now, I think. I don't think that anybody is happier in that room for him. He fully deserves it, the way he trains every day, the way he is. And he's a tremendous football player. And today we believe that there were spaces there to attack, and he was the right player, and he won the game for us. Time after time, Saka's put in that sort of ball from that Bud scoring late in the game for you recently. That I did. That was a lovely ball in again. Yeah, that's what they have to do. The big players have to produce magic moment, and B was patient. He had a lot of opportunities to get some great balls, great deliveries, and we were missing for an edge a lot of the balls that were flying through the box, and we get the timing right and execution right. It's an old cliche in the game that when you're going to win titles, you have to win games when you're not at your best. I think in terms of fluent creativity, you'd admit you weren't at your best today, but you've won the game. I think we're at our best today. You cannot have a fluid game here against the way they play. They don't allow you to have a fluent game. The game is a stop, start, stop, start. You have to play that game. Unfortunately, sometimes you cannot play the game that you want. And in terms of stop and start, that's interesting, actually, because now you come to the core period of the season. No more internationals now until March. This is the core period coming up now, isn't it? That's the big one, and we are in a really good position. We are top of the league at the moment. We won today. Let's enjoy tonight, and then we have Champions League, another big game coming up, so this is not going to stop. We are in a good place.
Yeah, the games really are coming thick and fast, aren't they? But for Arsenal fans, there you go. Top of the Premier League table. Just how much of a statement is that, Darren, at this stage of the season?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, being on top over Manchester City and Liverpool, without playing at your absolute maximum. I know he said that was a very good game today. I don't think they played particularly well. But you have to play that sometimes against a side like Brentford. But it's a massive for them. To be top at this stage going into that Christmas period where we know it's quite hectic, exactly where you want to be. As I said, you're picking up points, you're winning games where you've had to grind it out. You should be over the moon with what's going on at the minute with Arsenal.
And actually, it's the first time they've been top of the table this season, Owen.
Yeah, and I think obviously having Declan's probably been their best player this season, most consistent. I think the reason they signed Declan was for the end of the season, which Benty mentioned, where they weren't at their best, where they dropped points. And I think Declan, with his personality, I think he'll help them be there. But I think they can play a lot better than they are. And to be top right now after 13 games is a good achievement.
So that's the Arsenal perspective on things. How about from Brentford's side? Well, let's hear from the manager. Here he is, Thomas Frank. Yeah, and that's a sign of how far they have come, the fact that they are disappointed to have lost against Arsenal at home.
Well, he said before the game, and I looked at Benty, he said, we're going to try and dominate the game and win. And that's against Arsenal, so they play their way, they have their style, their philosophy. He's a brilliant manager, by the way, and he's one of the nicest managers that we have in the Premier League, and they gave it a good go today.
They've lost 3 home games since last October. That is how tough it is to go to that stadium.
It's really, really tough, and they've made that place a fortress, but Thomas Frank, he's a top manager, and they will bounce back from this for sure.
Rated the 2 sides today, and hopefully we will hear from him very shortly. But from you guys in the studio, what did you make of it? It was a hard watch at times, let's be honest, but it was all about the points for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Brentford do a really good job. They make it difficult for you, and Arsenal won at their best. But Brentford are a stable Premier League side for a reason. They make it difficult. They play to their strengths. They're defensively a good side, and they play a lot of long balls, and they work the channels. So Arsenal has to work really hard for that today. But I think they'll be delighted. Keep a clean sheet, win the game. Obviously, HAVERTZ gets some minutes, and Ramsdale played as well. So I think everybody can be quite happy, really.
It'll be a very positive dressing room right now, I can imagine.
Yeah, of course, because again, you've won a game where you haven't played that well at all. But we've found that a lot for Arsenal this season. But again, positive Ramsdale clean sheet, and no bit of an iffy first half. And Kai Havertz making an impact, because I think a lot of Arsenal fans are waiting for that. Well, 65 minutes. We know there's a talented player. I mean, Owen spoke about it. He's a big fan of his. You've seen he scored goals in Champions League final. He's a big game player, but it just hasn't quite happened for him yet. So you think on that performance, him coming and making a real impact, maybe this might kickstart his season.
It might do indeed. Well, let's actually have a look at Kai Havertz's goal. And also, why are you such a big fan of Kai?
Do you know, I actually feel a little bit for him, because he's a really talented player, but he's almost too versatile. He can play, midweek for Germany, he played as a wing-back and as a left-back. Today, he came on, he played as a centre-forward. Tell me another player in the world that would do that. He can play as a right winger, he can play as a number 10. But I think he has an amazing skill set. Technically, he's very good. I think one of his most underrated attributes is his heading. Physically, he's got a great size. He's in a great position at the back post. Just put it up there for him, and it's a really good finish. But I think at some point, I think Kai needs to specialise in what he's going to be. Ødegaard's the playmaker. Saka's the right winger. Martinez the left winger. Kai can play 5 positions. But at some point, I think somebody needs to say, Kai, we need you to play there. And I think if he plays there for a full season, he can be a brilliant player.
And where would that position be for you then, Owen?
I don't even think he knows. I think naturally he's at number 10, but Ødegaard plays there. I think he can play on the right, but Saka plays there. Yeah, I think it can be a very good centre forward for Arsenal. So I think at some point maybe MIKEL needs to say, right, Kai, let's specialise. What are we going to turn you into? Right now, I think he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do a lot of things, but I think he needs to specialise, and I think he can be a special player.
Well, that's brilliant for a player to have such versatility, and great for the manager as well.
It is, yeah, but as Owen was saying there, it's probably working against him, because where the 2 best players in the team are Ødegaard and Saka, and they're probably his 2 best positions. But as you said, I think he can play centre forward. It's just about what works well for him. I think if you're going to put him up there and try and play the same way you play with Gabriel Jesus or Nketiah, you won't see the best of him. But if you get the ball crosses in the box, let him link play, then I think he could be a really good, certainly centre forward for Arsenal, as Owen was saying.
So in the build-up to this match, the spotlight, as we discussed, was very much on Aaron Ramsdale. And it was really nice to see those full-time scenes of the fans really supporting Ramsdale, and also his players and his teammates. He sort of had... It was kind of a tale of 2 halves for him. He had some bad moments and some really good moments.
But you know what? They didn't lose the game. And he made a couple of mistakes, but they actually didn't hurt the team. And that's the real positive, I think. Obviously, it was a big moment for him. David Raya not playing. And one of the reasons Raya's in is because he's so good with his feet. So obviously it's not Ramsdale's greatest attribute. This one here, it just doesn't look... It doesn't look great. And I think for him, that would have been tough to make a mistake like that and that's to continue on. This one was actually even worse.
Yeah, this one I don't know where he's trying to throw it, and it's one of those where maybe last second someone moves and he's like, oh no, I can't throw it there, and that ends up happening. But as I said, he reacted really well second half. Was asked to do one or two things. I thought this was very good, really composed, and I almost felt like maybe at the start of the game he was trying to show everyone that he has got good feet. We all know already that he's got good attributes with his feet. His passing's very good. But because David Raya's been brought in and is very silky the way he passes and some of his touches, it's almost like he was trying to overcompensate by going, I'm going to show everyone how good I am, rather than just, relaxing and doing what made him Arsenal's #1 in the first place. But there's some positive. It's a clean sheet, but he'll look back at this and think, thank goodness for that, because it was a tough afternoon for him.
He's a good, he's a really likeable guy, Aaron Ramsdale, and I think we all want to see him do well. And when it's difficult for a player, you kind of push through it. I thought he did that today in quite tough circumstances for him.
Yeah, well, let's have a look also at a fantastic save, but not from either goalkeeper, from Zinchenko. This was a fantastic clearance off the line.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we saw Declan Rice do one in the first half, which was very good, and Zinchenko here, sensing danger. I mean, it's a great ball from Mbeumo, by the way, just stands up. Morpay gets there ahead of Tomiyasu, but he just anticipates danger. Would Ramsdale have saved it behind? I'm not sure, because it looks like he's diving backwards, but this is great defending from Zinchenko.
Yeah, that's just like game intelligence, instincts, where to be in the right moment. Little moments like that, help decide games. And it was huge from Zinchenko there. Just, you got to be in the right place at the right time, and he did just that.
You're looking at this Arsenal side as a whole. How much have they evolved, or have they actually evolved from last season, from that experience that they had of sort of staying at the top of the table for so much of the season and then eventually losing out to Manchester City? Have they evolved from that point of view?
Yeah, I think they would have gained a lot from that experience. Again, we know they haven't played as well, but I think when it comes to crunch time at the end of the season, if they're there or thereabouts, I think they'll handle it this time around a lot better than they did last year. A little bit novice last season, where maybe let points slip and maybe didn't know how to see out certain games. But listen, this time, if it happens again this season, I think they'll be in a better place.
Well, Owen, seeing as he's one of your favourite players and you really admire his qualities, we've decided that we are going to chat to him live now. Kai Havertz, it's an absolute pleasure to have you join us here in the Premier League studio. And congratulations on scoring the winning goal. How did that feel?
Hello, first of all, and thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a special feeling for me. I've been working hard to get these moments, and I'm just thankful to help the team today.
It was a big moment. It was a really big moment to score that goal because, of course, your team have now gone top of the Premier League table. That dressing room must be filled with celebrations right now.
Yeah, I think, these late wins are always special away from home, and to score at the end of the game and then celebrate with our fans is always, very nice. So, everyone enjoyed that moment in the changing room as well.
We've actually been talking in the studio about your position and how you've evolved in this Arsenal side. How did it feel to have that celebratory moment with MIKEL Arteta, because he looked absolutely delighted? What did he say to you?
Yeah, it was a special moment for me as well, to celebrate in front of the fans with the boss and all the players, and it means a lot to me, because I think me personally, and I think everyone else, every one of the players, you play football because of those moments, and these moments they make me proud, and I'm thankful for everyone that kept going with me, especially because I had some tough weeks and months, but I'm happy, and I hope I can do this now in the next few games as well.
Guy, first of all, I want to say congrats on the goal. I know it probably means a lot to you, scoring the winner, taking Arsenal top. What do you think? I mean, obviously, I see you play a lot with Leverkusen and with Germany. What would you say is your best position? Because I think you're so good in so many. What do you think is your favourite position to play?
To be honest, I don't even know anymore, because I think I played so many positions in the last couple of years. To be honest, and really I mean this honestly, I don't mind it even anymore where I play. I'm just happy to be on the pitch. Of course, I'm a player who wants to play offensive football, who wants to attack the box and the goal as well. I scored some goals in the past, and this is the best thing for me. But I want to help the team wherever I can. But I played as a 9 now. The last couple of games in Germany, I played even on the left side. So Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
Well, congratulations. It was a huge win for you guys today, and congratulations also on scoring that winning goal. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Brilliant. Kai Havertz live there from the G-Tech Community Stadium, and his versatility is actually incredible when you think about it, and with what you said of how many positions he can play in, it is amazing. And actually, Mikel Arteta certainly believes in him because he's the only player to have started every Premier League game for Arsenal this season.
Yeah, but you know what? I thought he would answer that question that way because he's played so many positions, and it's, you know, I actually feel for him. I think it's really difficult for him. Everybody else gets to play pretty much the same position every game. And Kai, because he can play in a lot of positions, he gets kind of put in all these different positions. I think at some point someone needs to help him and say, you know, let's be a centre forward for me, be a number 10, be a winger, be an extra central midfield player. Right now he can do all these things. And every game, depending on what the game needs, he can do it. But I think that's impacting his consistency by playing all these different positions. So I'd love to see him do well because I think he's a really nice kid, but technically I think he's a fantastic player.
Mikel Arteta has more wins from his first 200 games as Arsenal manager than any other, including Arsene Wenger, which is an absolutely fantastic record, and he's an incredible company in that as well. And it just goes to show how far he's evolved as a manager as well. But to do it in a game where Arsenal go top of the table as well, that must have felt sweet for him.
Yeah, no, he's done a fantastic job since he's taken over. Obviously, 200 games with a club like Arsenal is tough in itself. You think about the short-term managers have, and he's done a fantastic job. This is a young team, but I think they're improving every season under him. But that would be a huge win because that's a tough place to go and play football. Brentford are a really well-coached side, a good side. And I think he'll be delighted. They weren't at the best today, but they got the job done when they needed to.
Yeah, the performance wasn't pretty, was it? But as Owen said, it was all about the points for them. And it was Kai Havertz that scored the decisive goal. An unlikely goal scorer?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a few opportunities this season, but he just hasn't taken them. And as I said, hopefully this will kickstart his season now for Arsenal because I think people are still waiting. Where's his best position? Where's he going to almost kick into life? But listen, he gets himself into a really good position here. An overload at the back post. Great ball from Saka. And it's determination because he gets it. And I think that type of delivery from Saka, it's very, very hard to defend. But he pulls onto the shoulder, as I said, gets between the fullback and the centre half, gets his head down, heads it into the ground, which is what Gabriel Jesus should have done the first half. And he scores a goal, and it's a really good goal by him.
Yeah, Kai is brilliant in the air. And with his physical size, sometimes if you're a team, just put the ball in the box, play to Kai's strengths. I know he's a ball player and he wants to get it down to feet, but actually physically in the air, he's very, very good. And it's a great option, a great weapon for this Arsenal side.
And you're a big fan of his, aren't you?
Yeah, I think he's a great player. I think because his body language sometimes might remind people a little bit of Özil, that he's so calm on the ball, and I think he can play all these different positions. But I think he can be a fantastic player if given the opportunity to play the same position more consistently. I think he played this midweek for Germany. He played left wing back. Mm-hmm. Today he came on as a false nine. He plays off the right. He can be a number 10. So
who else can do that? Hey?
No, I think it's tough as a player to play that many different positions.
Speaking of it being tough for a player, what about for Aaron Ramsdale today? Of course, he stepped in because David Raya was ineligible to play against his parent club, and there was so much in the build-up to this match about Ramsdale. How did he fare today?
Yeah, first off, he struggled. I mean, we saw it there. The first one kicks out of play, and this one here gets away with it, you'd have to say. The passes are on, he almost panics a little bit, he flaps at it, and then Declan Rice bails him out of trouble there with a great defensive block on the line. I mean, this is the one I can't really get my head around because I don't know where he's trying to throw it. It almost feels like last minute he changes his mind. It's like, oh no, throws it into the ground. But again, you have days like this, he managed to get away with it. He was a lot calmer second half, as you can see from this clip here, a lot calmer. Maybe a few words were said at half-time, just relax. Do you know what I mean? You're fine, relax. Because he certainly came out with a different energy second half than he did first half. First half, as we just spoke about, a little bit tentative, a little bit unsure. Second half, he was a lot better.
We all felt bad for him because he'd been dropped, and he probably didn't deserve to be dropped. But Arteta came in and brought in Wright, who thinks a little bit better with his feet, maybe a little bit calmer. I think we all wanted Ramsdale to have a good game today. That first half was shaky, to say the least. But you know what? It didn't cost them. They kept a clean sheet. They won the game. Kai Havertz scored, and he got an opportunity to play. And the team spirit around Ramsdale at the end of the game, the way they went up to him and supported him, tells you a lot about this team. Yeah,
we were discussing, weren't we, when we covered this on Matchday Live, that nobody can really understand why Mikel Arteta has decided to play it this way and not rotate the goalkeepers and stick with David Raya. As a striker, who would you rather go up against, Raya or Ramsdale?
Well, it's a difficult one because, listen, they're both very good goalkeepers. I mean, you don't play in the Premier League if you're not a good goalkeeper. But it's just almost like, for Ramsdale, I don't think he did too much wrong to be dropped in the first place. So I believe he's a better all-round goalkeeper, but clearly Mikel Arteta is obviously the Arsenal manager, has seen something in David Raya which he quite likes, he favours. I think he tried to even get him before. And he feels that David Raya, moving forward, is Arsenal's first-choice goalkeeper. But listen, Ramsdale's a very good goalkeeper. He won't be sitting on that bench for too much longer, I don't believe anyway.
It's been raining here in North London. Our venue is the Emirates Stadium. I'm Derek Ray, and joining me here on the commentary box is Lee Dixon. And getting ready for a potentially thrilling contest. It's Arsenal, and they face Brentford.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. All that work in the week, all that chat in the dressing room, all that stops now. It's put your game face on.
He's in with a chance. It has to be. And a goal right off the bat. No wonder they're jumping for joy.
Well, here's the replay, and as we see, it's a class ball through to split the defence. There's still a lot of work to be done, but the keeper presents the near post on a plate, and he's punished. That's quite remarkable.
The opening goal of the game then. And they have possession again. Lacazette. And Arsenal now find themselves in potentially a dangerous position. Partey has lost it. A chance maybe from the wide position. That's excellent defending following the cross. So the corner played into the box, but it can't get all the way through. Throw-ins given. It was a menacing attack, but tidied up. Arsenal's free kick here. Xhaka. Hector Bellerin. Martin Ødegaard. Lacazette. Well, it could be on for him here. In it goes! He's made it a brace for himself. No stopping him, apparently.
Well, here's the replay. Great disguise on the pull-back cross, and then a 2v1. Both of them teasing the goalkeeper. That really is a lovely worked goal.